doing something. I forgot what he was doing. He was messing with some equipment or hooking up to a malt box or whatever. Which, for people who don't know what a malt box is, it's what reporters plug into when there's a zillion mics going into it. So I held an umbrella over him, like it was my wife or something. But and he has never forgotten about that. Every time I see him, he mentions the umbrella. Every time, and he's just a funny guy. And I can't believe it's been over 22 years. Because I've been news director here at KFI for 22 years, and fun him every time I just saw him at a party in December, and he mentioned an umbrella. So he's something like that. And it is a very nice gesture. Yeah. Well, Alex, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again next week. We're going to have some other people on filling in for Jennifer Jones-Lee. But it's been great talking to you. Thanks for all the perspective. I love that you're in a really automated area, automated country. That is so cool. I hope your coffee is automated as well.
You know what? I'll have to double check on it. Lisa just dropped it off. But next time we talk, I'll have an answer for you, sir.
All right. Alex Perche with ABC Radio News. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right. And what a great gig that would be. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. Nick Poliokini has a great gig, and he's going to tell us about a crash in Redlands on the Fan.
I always love being here, Chris, except for not the place to be if you Kfi into how do you Kfi into Redlands on the western side of the 10. Past Wabash, it is all western lanes that are shut down due to a wreck involving at least a big rig that lost its load, maybe 2 big rigs. Anyway, to help get around the delays, it's a pretty heavy for you right now as you're making your way westbound along the 10. How do you Kfi through Redlands? Plan ahead for a combination of the Kfi Boulevard and Sand Canyon, or Live Oak and San Mateo Canyon. Both of those will definitely help get you through. KFI in the Sky helps get to their fastest. The live read. I'm Nick Poliokini.
Hey y'all, it's Dean Sharp. Gonna get on with Rick in just a second here, but first, let me tell you, blackout. Remember when a power outage was something that actually made it onto the news? Now it is just another day in Southern California, but the fact is, every year, outages threaten the health and the safety of homeowners and are a major loss of revenue for businesses of every shape and size, and that is why I have turned you on to Duffy Power. Duffy can't keep your corner of the grid from shutting down, but they can keep your home and your business from shutting down. Duffy is Southern California's emergency power expert. They can install a backup generator for your home for as little as $72 a month. Now, they know that backup power is a new thing for a lot of homeowners, so they have put a lot of info on their website to help you better understand what it means for you. But also, don't forget, Duffy built their reputation for keeping businesses running through every kind of emergency and outage. They are there for you 24/7, 365 to guarantee that the power will be there when you need it. So whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, call Duffy Power today. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power, pound 250 Duffy, or find them on the web at duffypower.com. That's duffypower.com.
Southern California weather in KFI, sunny and windy in some areas. Highs in the mid-60s to lower 70s, mostly clear overnight, with lows in the 40s and 50s. Sunny tomorrow, highs in the upper 60s to mid-70s. Then the warming trend continues through next week. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Chris.
Building part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The case for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard, aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
Do you have a car you're looking to get rid of? Whether it's old or ancient, Cars for Kids will take your car in any condition. They have over 100 towers ready to pick your car up and fast. That's why hundreds of thousands of people just selling their cars and donated them instead. And their seller service has earned them an average 4.9 star rating in the process. Try it yourself. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go to carsforkids.com. They don't just say it's convenient. It is convenient. Donate today at 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Remember, that's Cars for Kids.
The Winter Olympics. The moment is finally here. Don't miss every medal and every moment at the Winter Olympics. The opening ceremony begins tonight at 5, only on NBC4 and Peacock. We grow
grow natural hair with the same simple one-day treatment that I received from Advanced Hair Restoration. Get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts by calling 844-333-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Bid the glory of the NFL and celebrate the conclusion of the NFL's biggest season ever at Super Bowl Experience presented by Lowe's. Tickets start at just $20 and kids 12 and under attend free every day. Download NFL One Pass to purchase your tickets today. Open February 5th at the LA Convention Center.
At Ralph, we believe in higher standards for fresh. So we do up to a 27-point inspection on our produce. Like for oranges, we test for spine and sunburn, allowing only the best produce to reach our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the truth is worth the squeeze. Ralph, fresh for everyone.
Keep the family the freshest, juiciest snack around. California Q's 20 pounds are on sale now. 5 pounds for only $5.49 with your card. Ralph, fresh for everyone.
Stimulating talk.
Hey, yo, it's Dean Sharp. Today's Wake Up Call House Whisperer segment brought to you by Duffy Power. Go to DuffyPower.com and never suffer through another power outage again. DuffyPower.com. DuffyPower.com. KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. I'm Chris Whittle in for Jennifer Jones-Lee. Here's some of the stories we're following in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. We've been talking about it. China has begun a lockdown Winter Olympics, the country where the coronavirus outbreak emerged 2 years ago. Is, of course, projecting its might on the global stage. A Pomona police officer has been shot in the leg during a shootout. Investigators say the officer was driving through an alley at about 7:15 last night when he came up on three people, tried to talk to him, and there was some sort of a shootout. The officer will be okay. The NFL is funding a $1 million study on the effects of marijuana on pain, especially the kind of pain experienced by active and retired players in the NFL. Medical experts say the goal of research is to see if it can be proven in a peer-reviewed clinical study whether or not cannabis could be a viable option for those in pain. At 5:53, we'll talk to ABC's Jim Ryan about that. So joining us now is KFI House Whisperer, Don Phillips. Oh, I'm sorry, Don. It's Dean, who called me Rick Whittle earlier. We're going to talk to call you Rick. We're going to talk to Don about a model your kitchen. All right, Bob. About a week ago, I texted Dean about adding an island to the kitchen of a house we were thinking about buying. We didn't get it, but we did get a quick, though thorough and short response from Dean. And so I kind of want to expand it here. Dean, I want to pretend that we have the house, and I want to fix up the kitchen. But first I want to tell you that a lot of people call me Rick Little, and I met Rick Little once, and I told him about that, and he told me, and he's serious, he has a brother named Chris Little. Okay, well, here's the thing. I apologize. Oh, you didn't. It is kind of annoying. But it's, you know, a lot of you don't know. You know, how would I know? He's such a good impression of how would I know that you're not actually this way. That's doing a Rick Little impersonation. Yeah. You know what? I saw Rick Little, he was talking to Robert Stack. I was at an event years ago, and he was doing Robert Stack while talking to Robert Stack and sounded exactly like Robert Stack. So if that was a radio bit, that would get very confusing. Yeah, we were, yeah. Hey, anyway, so what is the first step for people who want to maybe spruce up their kitchen? Maybe they don't want to put in a new island like I did. Maybe they just want to upgrade it a little bit. I mean, they have to spend a ton of money, and what do they need to do? Well, are you talking about owners or renters? That's really one of the big questions here, because there's two very different approaches to that whole thing. I would say for a lot of folks that, well, there's one thing that's universal for everybody. So let me just get on my soapbox, because I talk about this a lot. My clients and our consult clients and our listeners suffer through this because it's the truth, but it's hard to hear, and that is, wherever you are, whether you're renting or owning, declutter. Declutter your life. Get organized and live a more minimalist lifestyle. And I will tell you very simply why. Overcrowding any space. I don't care how much you convince yourself you need a flying juice. Overcrowding any space will make it seem like you don't belong there. Whether you are a renter, you're going to see another place, or whether this is your actual home. Declutter. Get yourself some invisible counter space in your kitchen so that it actually feels like a kitchen. Now, I know none of that actually changes the fact that you may have inherited a kitchen that's got some dated elements to it. Okay? And short of, if you own, one of the things that you can do is consider calling a painter out, and at least for the upper, or maybe the base cabinets, or maybe all of them, say, hey, what'll it cost us to get a coat of paint on here? Let's get away from, and I'm just going to say the thing that 80% of people in Southern California may be living with, which is honey oak cabinets. Because when most of our homes post-1970 were built, that's what we got. We got honey oak cabinets. And they're really dated, and they're quite old now as far as their appearance. But you know what? A painter can get in there and put a dynamic color on the base cabinets or the uppers, and actually make a complementary honey oak cabinet that's left over, really kind of pop and look decent. I don't have any issues with honey oak, by the way. None. Just its overuse, its ubiquity everywhere, and the fact that everybody has to basically have the same, looking kitchen. So that's one way to go. That's something you're going to invest in if you're an owner, but don't have a lot of money to spend in the kitchen, not necessarily as a renter. If you're renting, there are a couple of little things that you can do. Number one, the floor is probably less than exciting in your kitchen. These days, it is so relatively inexpensive to go get yourself, especially for smaller kitchens, some luxury vinyl plank tile. This is all vinyl tile. It's completely bomb-proof. It's a floating floor. So you don't have to tear up the existing floor. You're not even going to do any damage whatsoever to the existing floor. You're just going to essentially sort of carpet over it with a new, more attractive, extremely more attractive floor. And it's just going to cost you a few bucks per square foot, and you can DIY it yourself.
So even as a renter?
Yes, even as a renter. I wouldn't hesitate to do that. If I knew that I was going to stay in this place for, a bit, maybe I'm here for a year or more, and I've got an ugly kitchen floor, maybe I've got a dated linoleum floor, maybe I've got dated ceramic tile on the floor. We're talking about the good stuff out there. It's about $3 a square foot, and especially if you've got a small kitchen, that's not much of an investment for you to bring home a couple of boxes and click-lock them together. You cut them with a, with a utility knife, and the next thing you know, you've got a brand new, very attractive floor in all sorts of shapes and colors these days.
Do you have to glue it down?
You do not. It's what's called a floating floor. It basically interlocks into itself, and it floats across the existing floor without doing any damage to what is underneath it.
Wow, hey, that's pretty cool. Now, when you move out, you can take it.
Exactly. You can snap it up and, carry it on to potentially wherever, or at least take it up so that, your landlord is not like, what did you do to the kitchen floor? Nothing. I did absolutely nothing. I didn't even use it while I was here.
That's what it'll look like. Hey, are these floating floors waterproof?
They are absolutely waterproof. They're 100% vinyl product. And so they, we run them now for homeowners. Sometimes homeowners will pick this as their new flooring throughout the house. So you can run it from the living room into the kitchen, underneath the dishwasher, right into the bathroom. They are bomb-proof, and they're warm, and they're beautiful, and they're so easy to put down.
Wow, that's pretty cool. We only have a couple of minutes or less, but what do we do with our Swiss coffee walls?
Well, you know what? Whether you're an owner or a painter, here's the thing. Swiss coffee is not a bad color. It's really not. But it probably needs a refresh.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. Swiss coffee may not be a bad color, but it is one of the cheapest colors out there, because I was just talking to a painting company. I was at an event, and they said the cheapest color to paint your house, at least on the outside, is Swiss coffee. Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, because there's not a lot of color additive that has to go into the paint. But I will tell you this, Swiss coffee is a color that we recommend to our clients all the time. It is a warm white color. It probably needs a refresh, though, especially if you're a renter. But I love the idea of just a warm white wall to stand as contrast to your stuff. The real key is not the wall. Now, of course, you can strategically select a wall inside an important room and say, you know what? Why don't we go with an accent wall here? Let's do something bold, like a gray blue or a navy or a green or something like that. But don't do the whole room. No, because you're going to have a cave on your hands. Yeah. So far better to refresh the white, let that be bright, let that reflect light and keep the room bright, and then offset it with an accent color. I used to like ultra pure white. That's too white, isn't it? It's too white. That's ultra pure white simulates daylight, and not a lot of folks realize that daylight has a blue tint to it. Not blue like when you look up in the sky, because it's reflecting the ocean and doing a thing. But ultra white gets blue, and inside a house, it gets very cold and industrial looking. You want a white with just a hint of warmth to it, just a little bit of amber added to it. So decorators white, Swiss coffee, those are all, depending on the brand that you're buying, you're going to get various names for this. But you want a slightly warm white, but not a cream, a warm white. Well, let's call it a Dean Sharp Amber. There you go. We go to Home Depot and get a Dean Sharp Amber. I've got a question, just real quick about, I painted over an ultra pure white wall with blue, and I had to put like maybe 3 or 4 coats of blue so that ultra pure white would stop coming through. What was the problem? Probably no problem. It's just kind of the nature of it. And depending on the quality of the blue that you were getting. But you would expect anytime you're going to do a major color change on the wall, a major color change, whether it's white to blue or blue to white, you're going to have to use more than 2 coats. Okay? Because most paints, especially the ones you get at the big box stores, because they're not the greatest in the world. Right. Most paints are going to require more than 2 coats to make a major change in the color coverage. So just kind of embrace that idea and accept it if you're doing a big shift on the spectrum like that. All right. Okay, Dean Sharp, thanks. I could talk to you for another 15 minutes, but then I'd get in trouble and not be invited back. And I appreciate when's your show? Saturday mornings from 6 to 8 and Sundays from 9 to 11 this weekend. The callers are deciding what the show is about. It's an all-calls weekend. Whoa! All right. I'll be tuning in. Thanks a lot, Dean Sharp. Always a pleasure. Thanks, Chris. All right. Hey, when we come back, we'll talk with ABC's Jim Ryan about the NFL agreeing to fund a $1 million study on the effects of marijuana on pain. Right now, let's take a look at your drive from the Southern California Toyota dealers traffic center. Let's go places. We've got a cash in action on the 14.
It's on the southbound side, right around Sierra Highway or Red Rover Mine. It looks like it has middle lanes blocked, and that's going to be busy for you to come away from Crown Valley. Further southbound on the 14, as you continue all the way toward the 5, getting toward the Newhall Pass, it's going to be kind of light and patchy for you here as you're making your way through. As you're making your way through the Inland Empire, still dealing with some major problems for your drive. On the westbound side of the 10 San Bernardino Freeway, as you make your way past Wabash, getting out of Ukaipa into Redlands, all westbound lanes, they are shut down. So further notice due to a wreck involving the Tigray. Your alternate to help get around this is going to be using a combination of San Mateo and let's say Live Oak to the south of the 10 or west of the 10. Ukaipa Boulevard and San Canyon to the north of the east of the 10. KFI in the sky. Let's get there faster. I'm Natalia Ogini.
This is hard to admit, but when I was in junior high school, I was bullied so badly, I cried. Hello, I'm John Aquan, owner of Rooter Hero Plumbing. I was named Oganes after my grandfather, but as a kid, I was teased for having that name, so I changed it to John. John is the English version of Oganes, and it maintains the honor to my grandfather. My family and heritage are important to me, so staying true to myself and Rooter Hero Plumbing are important. Staying true to Rooter Hero Plumbing means being true to you and delivering world-class service. That's why my cell phone number is on the back of every Rooter Hero Plumbing business card. Call us at 866-77 and we'll cable your line for $77. That's 866-string-77. Thank you.
CL 102-8886.
This report is sponsored by the Winter Olympics on NBC and Peacock. The Winter Olympics. The moment is finally here. Don't miss every medal and every moment at the Winter Olympics. The opening ceremony begins tonight at 5, only on NBC4 and Peacock.
This is Doug Goddard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the Winter Olympics on NBC and Peacock. The first battle for LA at Crypto.com Arena goes to the Clippers. Reggie Jackson hit the game winner as the Clippers edged the Lakers. Fourth-ranked UCLA basketball lost to Arizona. Following the game, freshman Matt Etienne was arrested for allegedly spitting at Wildcat fans. And the Winter Olympics officially began this morning with the opening ceremony. Competition in the Beijing Games started earlier this week with the qualifying round. I'm Missy Jordan.
The Winter Olympics. The moment is finally here. Don't miss every medal and every moment at the Winter Olympics. The opening ceremony begins tonight at 5, only on NBC4 and Peacock.
Hey LA, are you looking for a refi or a new home loan? Cake Mortgage gives you a free instant rate quote with no credit check. Working with another lender? No problem. Cake will beat their current refi or purchase rates or give you $1,000. But you have to act now. Call 877-818-CAKE and put your home equity to work. 877-818-2253. NMLS number 1734623. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Reimbursement under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. This winter, we must all do our part to protect ourselves and loved ones from COVID-19. Getting vaccinated gives you the greatest protection against severe illness and death. And for the first time, everyone in the family ages 5 and up is eligible for the vaccine. If you are already fully vaccinated, get your booster to keep your immunity strong. Keeping each other safer is simple. Get vaccinated. Visit myclinic.ca.gov to find a vaccination location near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. When Bill and I needed new windows over 20 years ago, we picked a company we thought would do a good job. We were so disappointed.
So we saw a genuine need for a company with strong character, one that people could have faith in.
American Vision Windows was born right then and there.
The best thing about working for American Vision Windows and with customers specifically is having their dreams come true. And we try to accomplish the best job we can to make them happy.
It was a great experience. I could have not planned anything better.
I've been in the construction trade for 35 years. The level of quality of products that they use for their prep work was top-notch.
American Vision Windows continues to revolutionize the home improvement industry with the customer design while changing the lives of our employees for the better. It's so simple.
Happy employees, happy customers.
0% interest, 0 payments until 2023. Call 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or visit AmericanVisionWindows.com. Unapproved credit not allowed to qualify. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Retailers only. Restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Offer expires in 2022. CSLB number 778-326.
Do you need a new water heater? Water Heaters Only. With over 53 years in business, offers low prices, quality same-day service, and 0% deferred interest financing. Visit waterheatersonly.com. That's waterheatersonly.com. Terms and conditions apply. We are all stewards of the next generation. But in the U.S., there are over 100,000 boys and girls who are victims of human sex trafficking. It's time to stand up and join the fight as a community to stamp out the exploitation and trafficking of our most vulnerable. Join the fight against human trafficking. To learn more, visit usiaht.org. Portions of the following program will be recorded. You can't do that if you're a public figure.
There's a picture of Garcetti.
You can't do that because of the perception. It's a shame that the supply chain has made it harder to get tar and feathers.
Bill Handel. Mornings from 6 to 10.
That's true.
On KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. It is Friday. I'm Chris Little in for Jennifer Jones Lee. And here's some of the stories we're following in the 24-hour KFI newsroom. 2 women have attacked and robbed a couple of girls walking to school in LA's Fairfax district. They swiped their cell phone. People in LA working for the minimum wage were going to get a raise this year. The hourly pay is going to go up from $15 to $15.04. That starts July 1st. The NFL has agreed to fund $1 million study on the effects of marijuana on pain, especially the kind of pain experienced by active and retired players. ABC's Jim Ryan is following the story. Jim, who is the NFL giving the task to?
Two different universities. UC San Diego is one of the research institutes, and the University of Regina in Saskatchewan and in British Columbia. Those are the two institutions that will be looking at this research being done involving athletes who are not in the NFL, but it's being funded by the NFL, $1 million project that is going to yield results about the effectiveness of pain management by using marijuana, either THC or cannabinoids or the other the stuff that's already available medically in terms of marijuana. So we'll see where this all comes out. The NFL and the Players Association working together to try to get some research done on this question, Chris.
Sure, this is the first of its kind, right?
It is, yes. And it may impact improve benefits well beyond the NFL. I think in order to avoid any sort of conflict of interest, that's why they're going outside this. Elite athletes who are not football players but who've had some sort of injury, including concussion, will be given either a placebo vape or they'll be given a THC sort of vape, or one that contains the active ingredient in marijuana, the one that doesn't get high, but that might help you with pain management. So after some number of months or possibly years, we should have some results of this.
The NFL Chief Medical Officer, his name is Dr. Alan Sills, says their burden of proof is really high for NFL players. What do you mean by that?
Well, NFL players right now, by the way, this medical research has nothing to do with the policies on the use of prohibited substances by players. They're not supposed to do that, and they get tested for that regularly. We hear about this very often. And so I think that's what he's getting at, that whether this is being used for pain management is one thing, but it doesn't mean that any change of policy is coming in terms of recreational use by NFL players. It's supposed to be really nice for young people, and the NFL doesn't want to give the perception that that's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough position to be in. But if it is approved, then they won't, I guess, too much have to worry about it. But if it does get approved by the NFL, it's still not cool with the federal government, right?
Well, that's right. Yeah. And it doesn't look as though the NFL is going to change its policy anyway. But in terms of recreational, rather medicinal marijuana, as it is right now, football players who get hurt, either with concussion or ACLs or whatever it might be, they're treated with opioids, which we know are quite addictive. The complaint from the marijuana side is that marijuana hasn't proven to be addictive. Obviously, it is, but the jury's still out. It's not still out on opioids.
Do they have does the NFL doctors, do they have sort of do they have a belief that they think this is something that will benefit them, or are they just trying to answer all the questions they keep getting from the players? Does this stuff work? Anecdotally, things help in all kinds of sports, from running to MMA fighters. Are they just, do they have a preconceived idea? A hypothesis, I guess, is a question.
I don't think so. I think as part of the scientific process, you don't have a preconceived notion or an idea that this could work.
That's why I'm not a scientist. I didn't know that.
And that's